so we should be good now. So let's go over really quick what we did last time. We learned about WordPress a little bit, very basic stuff, that it's open source, what it means. You guys have idea about WordPress now, right now? I know it was just the beginnings of it, but you understand what WordPress is, what content management system means, right? And then WordPress is one of the most used content management systems out there. So it's a lot of work that you can pick up in freelancing if you want to do freelancing. And a lot of companies are doing WordPress because it's quick and cheap, and it just works fine for clients. You know, you provide them with a package and you tell them, oh, you can go in the backend and just go and edit your pages, post, you know, do your content, post images, texts, whatever, and clients like that. They don't wanna. Back in the days, they would have to call webmaster and email that, oh, can you go and update this page? And you would, like, webmasters would charge them every time. So now you charge them one time, you get them WordPress up and going, and people are happy with that, right? And they will always call you back and say, oh, can we style this differently or do another features and all that stuff. So it's a lot of good way to start it up and running and start building websites for people, you know, quickly and easily. And you can charge from $1,000 to whatever, few $1,000, depends on the complexity. But you just learn how to install WordPress. The same thing you do on web, online on a web hosting servers. It's even easier. A lot of them have like one-click installation, and that will give you what you have on your computers. So now, starting today, we will start editing the installation that you have on your computers, and then once you like, okay, this is good, that's what that, let's say, client wants or needs, and then you just go and copy those things to the web server, and there you go. You provided website for them, customized to their needs and whatever, and you can charge. And it's very simple process instead of going and doing everything. Can you imagine how much work you would need to put into creating dashboard and all that, like a way for them to post, and then security, how to manage logging in and all that stuff. It's provided by WordPress to us, so it's amazing thing. It's very smart to take advantage of that, especially the early stage of your career when you're still trying to pick up some freelance stuff. That's the way to go. You know, you can build websites, probably tons of websites you've seen on internet that they're WordPress. You didn't even know that they're WordPress, right? They look like any other website. But there's some tools, especially in Chrome, if you want to kind of research to see. In Chrome there is one extension, it's called Built With. You just go to Chrome Web Store and you search for Built With, and that will allow you, whenever you go to some site, you click that little tool there, and it will give you like everything that they used to build that site. Not really everything for free version, but it will show you WordPress if they use WordPress. And you can see, once you get to know the files and like the file structures, once we start working with that, you will be able to go to page source of any site and kind of, you will recognize, oh, this is WordPress. So it's really used a lot in world, right? And especially like Europe, it's big on WordPress. We learned a little bit about web servers. So local web server is like XAMPP and MAMP, or if someone else is using WAMP, right? That allows you to process those PHP files that WordPress needs, and to have a database on your local host, so WordPress can actually run. So that's what we did. We also, I think this one was confusing last time from kind of what I saw, but that's where we're gonna spend the most time today, trying to get that more, to get like clear on that, and we will use that every class. Everything you do, and during the week, you will go through Git and submit to your own repository, and I can go and see what you did, and when you ran into problems, we can all someone else can jump in and see your code and say, oh, this is where you gotta fix it, right? They can do it for you and submit their changes, and we'll go over those things. So we all installed web servers, right? We all have them up and running. Good. PHP MyAdmin, maybe it's a little bit confusing, but that's only um, interface where you interact with your databases, and web servers remotely, like GoDaddy, Bluehost, whatever, they all have PHP MyAdmin. The same, it looks the same as you have it on your computers, and you can do the same thing if you want. If you want to install WordPress manually, like we did, that's how you would do it on GoDaddy or Bluehost, same way. But it's easier to use their one-click installation. It will just walk you through these things. So, but it's good to know what actually it's doing. So that's what we did last time. We edited this file. This is the configuration file that WordPress is looking for every time. If it's not installed, it will look for this file, and this is where we set the database name and the username and password, so WordPress can connect to that database and do whatever. It creates a bunch of tables and stuff. And it was 5 minutes installation. And next time we do it, it's going to be a lot faster than last time you did it, right? So you can practice a few more times. Just install like two additional WordPress sites on your local host, and you'll see it's going to get better. And the script that I showed you last time, and Jim kind of played a little bit with it, it's just another way later on when you get a little more experience that you can use to spin your WordPress on your computer like in 15 seconds. And it does all these things for you. But you can always do this manual stuff. You only do that once before you start developing. So you have 5 different clients. You will have 5 different websites on your computer, a local host, and you just work, and you do that once and you're set and go. All right, so what we're gonna do in this class, we'll install, so we need, again, to install stuff. So Git is another tool that we have to have it, and it's only one time, install it one time on your computer, it's be there, it's going to be there, so it's a little painful installation. Another not that fun step, right? But we need to do it, so that's what we're gonna do there. GitHub and Bitbucket are the most common services for using Git. So we will have to use, you guys will have to have your own repository set up either on GitHub or Bitbucket. So the biggest difference between two of those is on GitHub, if you want to have public private repositories, so no one can access to those, no one can see your files in your repository, it's paid. I think it's like $10 per month or something like that. But you can have unlimited public repositories. So you can, for this class, we will use public repositories, so we can all check our stuff, and I can go and see your code, right, and stuff like that. So Bitbucket, you can have free public and private repositories. So I have them both, depends. And in your companies, some companies using one or the other or both. So until now on my job, we were using GitHub, and now in my new team they use Bitbucket. So
same company.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different kind of service, whatever it's called. I think it's service called. So it's the same thing. So you can use either one. And I have slides. I'll show you how the places where we need to see some things will go to both places. SSH, we will need to generate SSH keys on our computers. So probably, how many of you know what SSH keys mean? Jim, you probably know what that means. Anyone else knows? No?
That's a pain.
So it sounds complicated, but you don't have to know much about it, like in details. All it does, it's authenticate your computer with that remote server repository, whatever, where you're gonna push your code. So instead of you typing, imagine you have to type your username and password every time, right? So SSH keys is set of symbols, encrypted stuff that you set on your computer, and then you copy and paste it into GitHub or Bitbucket, and then next time you perform git command, it knows that your computer is allowed to interact with that repository. So it's like doing password and username for you behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about it. So it's not complicated process. You don't have to really dig dig deep into that. Sorry. Um, so just need to know how to generate on your computer, and then how to copy it and put and paste it there in GitHub or Bitbucket. And then once we are set with that, we're gonna do a little bit of just walking through the basic Git commands, the ones that we listed last time, but we're gonna actually do them now and try to explain what they're doing and what we're actually trying to achieve with these Git things. That's probably still confusing to all of you, right? So hopefully we'll get it better, understand it better after this. And then we're gonna go back to WordPress, and we will create something that is called child themes. Child themes are every WordPress, when you install your WordPress, and the front end that you got with that what is it, the flower or whatever on the table, that is the default 2017 um, WordPress theme that comes with WordPress. So when you wanna, let's say you like that theme, how it looks like, you wanna change you wanna change some things on it, but generally you're liking it, and you go and you say, oh, I'm gonna update that 2017 theme. You go and change it, and all good, great, but then WordPress comes with the update for that theme, and you say, okay, I have to update it, some security update, and you update, and all your changes are deleted, right? Everything is back to that default, whatever it is, and you lost all your changes. So in order to avoid that, you create child themes. So it's very simple process to do it, but what is actually giving you is you copy, let's say copy all the stuff that 2017 theme has, but it creates a separate theme for you, and then you can make your changes on top of it, and it's never gonna go um, overridden by the updates of the original theme. So you get the original theme, and you just create like a child of it, right? Another copy of it, and you can keep changing it and developing without worrying that your changes to be lost. So we're gonna go through that. It's a very simple thing, and it's just like two files we need to edit, and you'll see it's not complicated. But then we will want those changes to push, of course, to our repository on GitHub or Bitbucket. So we're gonna use those git commands that we're gonna learn before that, and push those changes up. So everyone has understanding about what repository means, right?
It's a place where you store information.
Yes. So in this case, we will store all our WordPress, not all, but majority of the files and folders that we need and care about, we're gonna store them there. So like a remote folder, right? And we copy stuff there. But it runs a lot faster than just dragging and dropping files. And we will do it through command line. So it's pretty powerful. And it keeps track of your changes, right? So let's say you editing a file and you click save, right? And you keep writing and you click save, and you keep writing and you click save, and then you want to go back to save like 2 times ago, right? And how you will do it? You will do it if Control Z on your computer, right? But what if you turn off your computer and turn it back on? You're gonna only have that last save, right? In Word document, you writing an essay or something. So you don't have a way to go back to two saves back, right? So Git will give you that opportunity. So it remembers every time you click save. In Git world, you call it commit. Um, it saves that stage, and then you keep working. But then if you want to go back, you can go back and see, or someone else can go there and see. So it's a very powerful, and you will see once you start using it, you'll see what is actually doing. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Once we change those files, we create child theme. We're gonna upload those changes to your own repository there. So I kind of, any questions so far? You think it's gonna be too much or? Huh? All right, good. Yeah. Go ahead.
Why are we making like child theme? Why not just a theme from scratch?
Just for example, you go and you research WordPress repositories. There is like thousands and thousands of free and paid themes that you can download and install on your WordPress, and they all look some way, right? And then you find some theme that you really like. It's like almost the same as you would like to have it, and you download, you install in your computer, and you update the images or all that stuff. You adjust it the way you like it. But now, if you keep it that way, that company or person push some updates to that theme, and you click update and you lose all your changes. So that's why instead of starting from scratch, you found something you like, you would create child theme out of that theme and then use that one instead of the original one. And that child theme will have everything that the original one have, but you avoid update overriding, and then you can also build on top of it, even add some of your stuff. And later, starting next class, we're gonna be doing theme from scratch.
Awesome.
But just so you know and see how easy it is to create child theme, and later on, if you find theme that you like and you wanna use it, instead of trying to rebuild it, you don't wanna reinvent the wheel, right? I mean, it's you just create child theme out of it and keep working. So yeah, is that answer on your question?
Yeah, that answers my question.
Okay, great. Anything else? We good? All right, so we kind of touched a little bit on that. It can, so using child themes can speed up your development process, which means what we just said, right? Instead of trying to rebuild what you're looking at a theme and you want to rebuild the same thing, there is no sense in that. You just use that theme if it's free, right? If it's paid, there's some copyright stuff you gotta be careful of. But if you do your theme from scratch, no one will say anything, and you will not be in trouble if you recreate the same thing. You know, it's fine. Um, so in order to create child theme, you need three things only. So you need inside your so can you all open that web server folder like htdocs if you use xampp, or if you use WAMP melody? I think you're using WAMP. It's www. For everyone else, as far as I remember, it's htdocs, right? Folder. So if you open that and open that folder, your WordPress folder for your site that you created. So inside the htdocs folder, you have your WordPress folder, right? You called it portfolio. And when you go inside, you have a bunch of files and folders. And one of the folders is called wp-content. And inside that file folder, you have themes folder. So open that themes folder, and I can try to pull this up. Y'all got it, or where is it? Okay, so you see, this is my WordPress folder right here, and this is WP content folder, and inside that folder, it's folder called themes, and here are my themes that I have installed or copied to this WordPress installation. So one of the ones that are coming by default with the shipped with WordPress are 2015, 2016, and 2017 folder. Those are default ones, and in order to start your child theme, you need to create folder. And you see the one that I created right here. It's called 2017-child. So good practice is to kind of use -child. So you do original theme name and then -child. That's a kind of like a good practice. So if you wanna use that online to post it somewhere and say, oh guys, if you like this one, you can use it. It's a good way to kind of give credit to that person that created the original one, right? So you just, but you can name it whatever you want. You just need a folder inside that, uh, inside the themes folder. So you can, if you all want to go and create new folder in your themes folder. So you just go and create new folder and name it 2017 child. We all got that, right? We're good. So the other two things that we need for child themes inside that directory that you created, you need two files. One is going to be called style.css and the other one will be called functions.php. So basically you just need to remember those file names. They have to be named that way, right? So you can't rename them to something else. Um, functions.php and then style.css. So
I
what do
just
you?
copy pasted everything from the 2017 folder over here.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't copy everything. So delete everything except those two files. You don't have to do that. That's not. I mean, because the way we're gonna do this is actually will inherit everything from that parent team. You don't need to copy the files over. You can do it that way, but there is no sense in it, right? So you see here is my portfolio. Is that, do you need a bigger font or you see everything fine here?
The contrast is,
I think the lights, yeah.
the lights.
Oh yeah, you see, I see something is kind of, you got it, thank you. I mean, I can use the light version of Atom, but once we go, so this is better now? Yeah, okay. So you see here I created the 2017 child folder inside the themes folder. So you all got that folder created, right? Anyone has problems with that or all got it? Yeah. Okay. So inside this, I need only these two files. I need functions.php and I need style.css. So you can click, if you use Atom, you can click, you can kind of select that folder and click right click or double click on your uh, Mac and then new file. You have Dreamweaver. You can go new file, then name it style.css and then save it inside that folder.
It's on the right side in Dreamweaver. So while I have Atom installed,
Okay.
do I need to set up the
Oh yeah, you need.
version control with Git and GitHub, or can I do that later?
We will have to install Git this class, so you can click to install it for you. It will install Atom and Git for you at the same time.
Yeah, I have Git installed.
Then don't do it. Then just say no. So in order to get Atom to I missed to tell you how to add this folder to the Atom. So you go here to File and click Add Project folder. Right. So you need to add the folder So you click that, and it will open you the window browser, and then you navigate to your htdocs, and you click on your portfolio folder, and you click open, and that will add you the complete folder, and then you can see it like in a tree like this. So what I have green here are actually git git is telling me, oh, this file needs to be submitted or whatever. We will go after later, we'll go through those steps, but it's good. Atom is kind of giving you visual um, ways of, like, you can easily see what you're changing, what is in your git repository or whatever, right? So you'll see where that comes handy later on. So you, inside your child theme, you create these two files. So you all got that part?
No.
No? So where are you struggling?
So I have the 2017 child theme.
Inside themes, right?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so now inside that folder, you need
So
you need to click new file.
So go to file, and then new file, and you create styles.css.
So style without.
Oh no, you're going to do a save as. That's line one of the code. So do, actually, let me clean this up. Get rid of that guy.
Yeah, the welcome page. You can read it.
Yeah,
Or
it'll
not
open
have
up
to find
next time too. Okay, now we have that one. So we will do a file.
Just
Oh.
close that.
Close it. Okay.
So go click your right click inside that, yes, and I click new file. That will tell you the location. And now you just name it style.css is the one. Click enter. And you see it's under.
Mhm.
You see how it's like a tree view?
Yeah,
You get that part? Yeah.
easier.
So now you click again, and then right click,
Oh, right click.
new file, and you then functions dot feature. Those are the two files that you need. That every WordPress theme needs those two files to kind of work. And now we'll go through what actually needs to say there. You're welcome. Anyone else have problems? Rebecca, Melody, you guys good? Queen, good? Got it?
Yeah.
You figured it out how things work?
Yeah.
I think it's easier for you. Because of the details. Oh, okay. Can you go back? So that means, so remember, for team names you can use spaces, right? I forgot to say that. So you have to kind of use. So can you rename it into? You can, yeah, you can. But the good practice is if you're gonna make child theme out of 2017, for example, you name it 2017 hyphen child. But you don't have to, right? But it's a good practice. If you want to keep it that way, you can. So now when you go to Random, and you open that folder, see your let's go. Yes, into the Java folder also. And that other folder. So we need files, right? So you you right click here, and then new file. And one of them is style.css, and the other one is GitHub. So it's Melody, are you guys? Now if you expand this folder, see you have it. So now open that style. And you can close this welcome to see so there is certain things we need to do now in that part. So you good, Austin, you good? Awesome. You?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just setting up my.
Do you have the files up in there set up already? Yes? Get it?
Man.
Get it? What is it? Good?
Got the styles that I need to put in the functions PHP?
Not right now.
Not right now.
We're just gonna go through, I'll show you where you don't need to type this stuff. This is provided from the place that we're gonna visit a lot. throughout the class, and it's like I don't remember a lot of stuff when it comes to WordPress because you don't have to. There is a place called WordPress Codex where everything is documented. Every single function and every single line of code for WordPress is documented, and it's explained what it does. So whenever I need something, I just go there. I find it. When you do stuff often and you start repeating, you're gonna remember stuff, of course. But you don't have to remember. Like for example, this I don't even bother remembering this. Why would I remember all these lines, right? But I wanna know what I mean. So what I do, I go here. I think I provided. Oops. Let's see. Let's make sure I have that in your module too. You go there and you can see right here WordPress Child Themes. This is the link. Well, it will take you to. So always check those inside the modules. I put links for everything that we do throughout the class. All those useful places where you can go and like read and actually find out if you have any problems. And always check those links there. So here, this is what is called WordPress Codex. So this is just a section for child themes, and you can read here why I use child themes and pretty much everything about when it comes to child themes. Well, what we're looking for is right here. What do we need inside our styles.css in order for WordPress to recognize this folder that we created as a new theme? So you just copy this here. You copy this content and you go in Atom and you paste it, right?
So you delete everything that's currently in the style CSS?
But for you, because you did it the way we didn't do it, everyone else created their own style CSS. You copied up, so you need to delete the whole thing. Yes.
Got the.
Because you will inherit your child theme will already have all the styles from your parent theme, right? And then you can, in your style.css, you'll do your own styles, stuff that you want to change on your own theme. So we copied this section from Codex, and now we want to edit it, right? So since this process hasn't changed since 2015, it still says 2015, but of course we want to call it 2017 child. If you're gonna post your theme somewhere for people to be able to download it, if you want to share your theme, this is a theme URI. This is where you put your that URL of your theme, but we don't have that place, so we can leave that open, empty for now. In description, you just describe your child theme. For sake of time, we just
So where are you
in style.css, right?
on the style one?
Yes, style.css. That's where. So let's do this right here.
And then I copy and paste.
Yes, so you go to WordPress Codex to get this code, so you don't have to type it really, because you don't need to type it. It's better if you just the link you can find in your module 2, and then right here it says WordPress Child Themes. And here also I posted those, because Git might leave you a little bit confused at the end of the class, hopefully not too much. But you can always go here and check these very, very easy and interesting interactive kind of tools that you can type commands and play around with them and figure out what actually is happening there. So before we continue, let me stop this real quick.